Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. I'm on time today. Feeling very happy about that. It's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, September 16th, 2021. Because it's Thursday, it's time for happy hour. Hopefully you guys have a recovery beverage. You can do something that's an actual recovery beverage or something that's a little bit more interesting. This week I'm going to go with something that is just like a regular recovery beverage. I'm going with Klean Athlete, Clean Isolate, natural chocolate flavor dietary supplement. It's got 20 grams of protein and 6 grams of carbs, 100 calories, 1 gram of fat. It's got some sodium, 120 milligrams, some potassium, 220 milligrams, and it's got this label on this NSF label saying that it's labeled certified for sport. So I thought I'd give it a try today. Give me a second here, real quick here. I'm gonna adjust some things. There we go. Messing around with some of the camera features. All right, before we dive into what's going on with this new protein shake, which I did by myself, just from a disclosure perspective. Let's say hi to everyone listening on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a good run. And people have been mentioning how they are listening to the podcast on their drives or on their commutes home. So I'm definitely appreciating that. Some of you have also mentioned, I think it was Brendan Cam was saying that he likes to listen to it at night because it's very relaxing. I know I have that effect on people. You hear my voice and you fall asleep. I know I have that. That's been told to me many times, especially when I was a teacher. So glad to hear that. However you guys are enjoying it, that you guys are enjoying it. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, maybe you're winding down, getting ready for bed too. Not a long time ago, but before like internet was like a huge thing, I would definitely put DVDs on and like turn them on and then go to bed. Not a great habit to fall into, but like, I like the noise in the background. And sometimes now, I don't typically have a hard time falling asleep, but like sometimes, mainly when I'm traveling and I'm by myself, I will like just put some YouTube videos on my phone and like not even look at it and just have it play in the background until I fall asleep. So I know what you guys are talking about. I can relate. All right. So if you guys are falling asleep as you're watching this on YouTube later, hopefully you have sweet dreams. All right, let's see who we got here in the chat today. We got Frank that says, anybody ever think about doing the Wanda age group ranking things? Looks like most of the qualifying races in the U.S. are rock and roll marathons. What is that? I don't know anything about that, Frank. I have to look into that. I like age group type of things. You know, people say age grouper like it's a bad thing, but I'm like, that's a good thing. It's an equalizer. So, I don't know. I could do some more rock and roll events, I think. I think that'd be fun. Ray Solers, a happy jogger, says, hello, hi, Co. Hello, gang. Easy 4 miles today. Let me tell you what. I had a hard workout yesterday, and then my run for today was a much-needed recovery run. But it was one of those days where I was like, I don't know. I maybe should have just not run today because I was so tired. So I just was like, you know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll just make sure it's true recovery run. I'm not going to worry about pace at all. I'm just going to relax and chill. And then by the end of the run, I was like, oh, this feels good. I was really tired. I'm like, I can't wait for this run to be over. But I was like, my body does feel better. So hopefully you get a good 4 out there. And it says, hi, Kahuzi and everybody. A 5K tonight with Pip. Slowly getting the VO2 max back up. 55 now, and it was 60 before the calf tear. Well, you're getting back up there. I think you'll be back up there in no time. JC says, hey, everybody. We'll stay as long as I can. Age group thing sounds interesting, and we'll check it out. And Luis Becerra says, yo, what's going on? It's day off here in Mexico for Independence Day. Hi, everyone. Well, happy Independence Day to you. We've been hearing a lot of very excited people in their cars and seeing lots of Mexican flags being hung from their cars in the streets past several days here in Chicago. And my daughters are like, what is that? They're like, what is that, Italian flag? That's not an Italian flag, honey. That's a Mexican flag. And so we're learning what the Mexican flag looks like in our family. And the kids love it. They just like it when people get all excited. But I will say it's been unusual because basically for the last several years, every time that I've seen a car with flags on it, honking its horn and making noise, it's generally been a kind of flag that I really don't like. And so I was like, oh, okay, Mexican flag, great. Not worried about that. All right, that I don't feel threatened. Other kinds of flags, I feel threatened. But so it's been a nice change of pace up here in Chicago for me. All right. Martha says cowbell for Lisa Becerra's birthday, which coincides with Mexican Independence Day. And Martha's is on Flag Day. Oh, wow, that's awesome. You guys caught me off guard again because I don't have my sounds ready. But here we go. Hopefully it works. There we go. I'm trying something new with the audio setup here. And so I'm sorry that wasn't a great cowbell. I told you guys my soundboard died on me the other day. And so I'm still figuring some stuff out. But at least we got a little bit going on with the sound. All right. But happy birthday, Luis. Awesome. All right. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down in the chat because I think that I'm behind you guys a little bit. I want to try and be a little bit more current with everyone and what you guys are talking about. David Prabhu says, afternoon. And Terry says, and Tayfun Arli says, greetings from Istanbul. Morning runs or night runs? I definitely prefer morning runs. I don't like night runs because I think it's because my night vision is really bad. So I don't like running at night. I don't like doing most things. I don't even like driving at night. I like evening and nighttime walks. Those are fine with the family. But I'm definitely a morning runner. And it's been hard for me. It's been a switch because now with the kids in school, I've been working on videos before they wake up, then getting them ready for school, taking them to school, and then after that, well, sometimes I go to the grocery store or do some laundry or whatever, or get some laundry started, and then I've been going for my run. So I haven't been going for my run until like closer to 9 o'clock in the mornings lately, which it's a lot hotter when you go at 9 o'clock. So it's been not great, but for the schedule it works, and as the days start to get shorter, it'll work out better overall, I think. So yeah, for me, it's definitely a morning runs kind of thing. All right, let's get into some of this stuff. This Klean Athlete, Klean Isolate. I'm not sure where I saw this. I'm pretty sure I would have maybe I saw this like on, most likely an Instagram ad, but I don't know. Somehow I decided to buy this stuff, and it's one scoop for about 10 to 12 ounces. But look at this scoop. It's giant. It's like bigger than a normal scoop. Or maybe this is the volume. It's not that like wide of a scoop. I think it's a wide scoop still. I don't know. Let me dump this into my mixing vessel here. But it's still a pretty wide scoop. So like it seems like a lot of powder. But it's one scoop with 10 to 12 ounces of fluid. Got some water here, and we'll mix it in. Got the new microphone, so maybe we'll do some ASMR. All right, and then I got my lid, and we'll give it a shake, and we'll let that kind of settle and get all mixed up, and then we'll have some chocolate shake. The color on this is real nice. It's a very dark color, very appetizing. But you know what I've been also enjoying? I've been enjoying that Slate Ultra Milk because they sent me like a case of it, or like a dozen of them. And as much as I prefer powders because I feel like it's easier to ship, it's easier for me to store. Fridge space is a premium for a family of 4. So like, being able to just leave that in the cabinet is nice. But I hate this. I don't like mixing stuff. And it is nice, like after a run, to just like open the fridge and have like a pre-made, very cold drink just ready for you. It's been a nice treat. It's been a nice treat. All right. Paul Kane says, anyone experienced a Garmin update on fitness age? Gone from a 20-year-old to 43 and told I've achieved my maximum achievable age. What? That's weird. It's aging you? That's bizarre. That's really crazy. All right. Let's see. Greg's here. What's going on, Greg? I was just thinking about you. He said, I had a Zoom meeting with Nike Chicago. He said, I might not be at the Chicago Marathon, but my designs will hopefully be at the Nike Chicago store. Oh, dude, that's awesome. You'll have to let me know if that happens, because then I'll stop by the store. That's really cool. That's super awesome. I was just thinking about you because I did sign up for the Kara Runs 20 miler. I just did it. The registrations end in like a couple hours. So I just barely squeaked in there. So I was able to register and get in for that. But yeah, that's super cool. That's cool. Having a Zoom meeting with Nike Chicago. Like, who even is Nike Chicago? I'm trying to think, who's Nike Chicago? That's pretty cool, though. Awesome. All right. Steve says he's watching his daughter doing karate. I dare not listen or I might get told. Oh, that's so funny. And Garrett says, how come no shoe companies put lights in the soles of shoes like we had when we were kids? I think that's interesting. But, you know, they have shoe lights. You attach them to your laces. And I think they point down, like as if they were like headlamps, like pointing down at the ground so you can light them up. So there are those things. And I guess, you know, what you could do is you could just get little like glow sticks and, you know, make a little bracelet. Like if you get, you know, because they have a little like the connector pieces. And you can make a bracelet and put those together. That could be one thing to do. But yeah, I mean, I've been wanting like adult-sized light-up shoes for a long time. Basically, since like my older daughter, who's now 9, since she started to walk, I was like, you know what? We don't need for adults squeaky shoes. Did you guys ever have that? Like, who would give a child shoes that squeak when you walk? That's a thing. I don't know why that exists. It's a terrible idea. But the light up shoes I love, and I was like, I would love to have matchy light up shoes with my kids. That seems like kind of fun. So I don't know. I would enjoy that. But I don't know, for running shoes, I don't see it happening. But I do think that, like, you know, people should get more inventive when it comes to like what they're doing for lighting when they're running at night, especially for races, like ultra races and stuff like that, where it's like, you know, if I'm wearing some glow sticks around my feet and it weighs a little bit, it's not gonna like really throw me off. All right, cheers. I'm gonna have some of this Klean Athlete chocolate shake. This is good. This is a very creamy, milky chocolate. I'm getting a lot of brown sugar flavor. I don't know if there's brown sugar in it, but like kind of that, like that almost like caramelly type flavor that comes with like really milky chocolate. But this is tasty. It's a little bit gritty, like most protein shakes are, probably because I don't let them sit and I don't mix them properly, but it's good. But I will say, like, of chocolate flavored protein shakes that I've had, like powders, this flavor is probably one of the best that I've had. If you like really dark chocolate, and if you don't like kind of like American milk chocolate and how sweet that is, it probably won't be great for you. But I do feel like there's a nice creaminess to the flavor, although the body is still pretty watery, but there's a nice creaminess to the flavor. So I like that. And the numbers on this, I think, are pretty good. I wouldn't mind if there were even a little bit more sugar in there. I'd be okay with that, because I do like to have a little bit of sugar right after I eat run as well. But I know like a lot of the protein products, people are looking to have like just protein, so I get that, how that works, or I guess I kind of understand. So, but yeah, this is a good one. I like it a lot. Will Willings back, says hello, just tuned in for the first time in a while. It's good to see you again, Will. Glad to have you back. And Stephen Lung said, loved watching your Houston Marathon vids. This will be his first marathon coming up. Any Houston specific tips? And what do you normally do for a warm-up on marathon day? For Houston specific tips, you know, I only went through that course once. So, you know, there's not a ton that really sticks out to me that really needs to be watched out for. At about the halfway point, you go over a really large bridge, which I think is like the biggest hill of the marathon. And it is a pretty big bridge. So that is not to be underestimated. And I would say, really just take it easy. There's so much race left after you hit that bridge that, like, even if you're basically like walking up, you know, you'll have plenty of time to make it up. And I think, you know, any energy savings that you have by taking it easy up the hill are going to be worth it compared to any time, like measly seconds, that you might lose by trying to like maintain pace up that big hill. So that would be kind of like the only real thing. I feel like there are parts of it where there's not a lot of sun cover, which depending on the day, I mean, the race is in January, but depending on the day, like, you know, it can get pretty fatiguing. So I would say, you know, just be mindful of protecting yourself from sun if you're going to wear a hat or something like that. I overdressed for the race. So, you know, and that's probably because I was coming from a colder climate and I was worried that, you know, whatever the air temps were going to feel colder than they actually were. So I kind of like got the temperature wrong because I'm not familiar with Houston weather. So that'd be the other thing is don't overdress. So, and for a warm up, it's hard to really warm up for a marathon for me because it's just like you're usually packed in pretty tight. You don't want to miss when you can get into your corral. Usually the most important thing that I focus on is going to the bathroom enough times before the race starts. And then for the warm up, I like to be able to do a couple of like not sprints, but some a little bit harder efforts. If I can, I'd like to do like, a couple minutes at threshold just for a little bit, to kind of get the body like ready, like, okay, we're going to work today. It's working time. I feel like a lot of people kind of just like show up and they're like, the first few miles will be more warm up. That doesn't really work well for me. I don't know why. My body doesn't like that. It needs like, it kind of needs that ability to say like, hey, this is hard. You should stop. And if that's my warm up, then I can stop and then recover. And then it'll be like, yeah, that wasn't that bad is what my brain will say. And then I could actually start racing. So that's kind of like, I think it was Martha that says like that I like to do a fartlek before my races. And that's kind of true. So that's something that I would think about. I don't know that you necessarily need to do strides, but if you can't really go for like a longer run before you're, I'm not saying do miles, but if you can't, run around a little bit before your race starts, I think stride is like a next best. But I think people overdo it with the strides a lot. It's easy to overdo it with the strides a lot. So like, but it's a second best. So that's what I would say about that. All right. Stevie76 is here. Says, yo, what's going on? Good to see you. And let's see. Eric is here. Says, thanks all. That's what I thought. Nice to have you come. Well, there was a question. I missed it earlier, Eric. Where'd it go? Sorry. All right. Let me scroll back. Oh, here it goes. Just got his first hydration vest. Seems snug. I think it's probably a good thing. Do you think it's better to be a little snug or loose? I imagine if I went to a medium, it would be way too big. I would go with a little bit snug versus a little bit loose, because then once you get some weight in there, it's going to start bouncing around. And it looks like that's what everyone's telling you. Frank says if you're carrying flasks on the front, snug is better. Yeah. Runner Dre says the same thing, snug, or else expect chafing. Yeah. PGR says, hey all, got my half marathon coming up this Sunday and is pretty excited. Have a little irritation in my Achilles though, that's giving me some concern. Hoping it clears up before race day. All right. Well, I would say, baby it a little bit, take it easy. I'd say resting a little bit too much in hopes of getting that Achilles to 100% or as good as it can be is probably better for you than trying to maintain like a perfect taper. So, give it some rest, which sounds like what you're doing. All right. And it says he just checked his Garmin fitness age. It still gives him 20. 32 years below the really. That's awesome. That's great. I see. I need to pick up a Garmin. I reached out to Garmin to see if they would send me a device. I haven't heard anything from them, so I guess they're not interested. I think I just need to pick one up anyway. Oh, looks like my mom's here. Hi, Mom. How are you? Good to see you. All right. Stevie76 says, if I like to do a fartlek before a marathon, he says fartlek after activating the glutes. I did mention the most important thing is going to the bathroom enough for the race. So it all goes together. And Martha says, her Garmin's fitness age is half a century below her real age. Whoa! I feel like that's got to be the record. That's great. Awesome. All right, let's have some more of this chocolate shake. What are you guys drinking? Are you guys drinking anything today? Yesterday, after I brought the kids home from school, I had a harder workout yesterday, a tough workout yesterday. That's what tomorrow's video will be about. And I was super tired. And when my kids get home from school, they kind of just like to veg out and like stare at their iPads for a little while. So I took advantage, and the three of us were sitting, my two daughters and me were all sitting on the couch. It's an L-shaped cup, so we got plenty of room. They were looking at their iPads, and I definitely let myself take a nap for like 20 or 30 minutes, and it was amazing. It was so good. But then when I woke up, I was like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to cook dinner. I don't want to walk the dog. And then like I was like, my wife usually likes to help the kids with their homework, and I was just like, I'm not even gonna pretend to try today. All right, we got some drinks coming in. Ooh, and this is drinking some ginger beer. That sounds tasty. Even though I don't really like ginger beer always sounds so good. Frank's got pineapple juice, which pineapple is my favorite fruit. It's so good. Ron Andre's got some coffee. Nice. Jataro's got water. I just had a big thing of water because I've just been so thirsty. I've been really thirsty lately. I don't know. Maybe I've been overdoing it with the sodium and the electrolytes. But I don't know. PJ says, had some scratch horchata flavored recovery after the run today. Definitely my favorite recovery drink. You know, I think I need to buy some more scratch. I have two kinds of scratch. I have like two kinds of extreme scratch. I have the super salty one, which is like 1,100 milligrams of salt. And I have the super sugary one, which is 100 grams of carbs for like 16 ounces or something like that. It's just way too much for like a normal day. So I've been drinking like the rest of my honey stinger, like they have a powder mix. I think it's okay. It's a little bit too sweet, and it stains every bottle. So if I have like a plastic water bottle, it just stains it yellow instantly, and it won't come out. And then, so like I'm like, maybe I need to get some Gatorade Endurance again. I don't know. I just need like a powder, something that's like relatively cheap. I feel like Scratch is a little bit more approachable. I think I drank all my Univet Elite drink mixes. So I need some new recovery beverage, or not recovery. I need some hydration mixes. And Eric says, I'm drinking water out of the flask of the new vest while sitting there working. I may have a problem. I think that's pretty funny. I love that. You're just like squeezing from the flask of the new vest, and then like a coworker comes by. Eric, I see you're busy. I'll come back later. I had a quick question, but I'll ask you later. I think that'd be pretty funny. Paul Kane says, I still like the Univet Elite Recovery Drink Mix. Definitely feels like it helps after any workout or longer run. I love it. I've got 3 packs left. So like I definitely, whenever I get some, I map out like how I'm going to drink all of them. And so I mentioned I just signed up for that 20-mile run. I'll have one after that. I'll probably put it in like my gear check bag so I can have one like right away. And then I'll have some post-run beers because that's a part of the festivities for this event. And then I'll probably have one after the Chicago Marathon. And then the last one, maybe I don't know. I don't think it's going to last till December. I'm going to have to get a restock. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll use that one for CIM. But that's probably not going to make it till December. I'll probably end up drinking it before then. Time Out says, drinking some Ghost vegan protein, coconut ice cream flavor. Ooh. Coconut ice cream coconut ice cream is, for me, is like ginger beer. Sounds delicious. I don't always love coconut. I love the coconut in the Go Macro bars. It's so good. So good. Like my wife also enjoys it. And so she's been buying it by the box. Like not just one box. She's been buying like crates of it, or trying to. And she's like, I can't find them anywhere. Can't find them at the grocery store. Can't find them online. We're having a hard time finding the coconut Go Macro bar. That's so good. But Ghost Vegan Protein, I don't think I've had Ghost Vegan Protein, but maybe that's one I have to look at next after I get through this bag of the Klean Athlete. It's a good one. Greg says about the 20 miler, says, if you talk to Greg Hipp, the current executive director of Cara at the 20 miler, congratulate him. He's going to CEM, the management company of the Chicago Marathon. I'll definitely have to do that. I saw that, with the news when it came out, I think on Instagram or maybe Twitter. And then when I signed up for the 20 miler, it was on their website too. So that's pretty cool. All right. Eric B's got some water. Albert Lone's got some coffee. I feel like this powder and some coffee, I think could be really, really nice too. It'd be like a nice mocha type flavor. So that might be the next thing I try with this tomorrow. Maybe after my run. Maybe I'll make some coffee in the AeroPress. Or maybe I mean, cold. I like the idea of cold brew. It's just so much work. But so I think I'll just make some coffee in the AeroPress hot, and then cool it, and then put some of this powder in there. Maybe I'll try that. I think that'll be good. Stephen Loon's got some Nuun. You know what? I just bought some Nuun lime. I don't love it, I gotta say. I love the mango citrus. That's my favorite one. But it's got caffeine in it, which I appreciate most of the time. But there's sometimes like later in the evening where I do want to have some electrolyte drink, but not caffeine. So like I can't always have it. So I've been looking for a new like go-to flavor. For me, lime isn't it. Lime isn't it. What flavor are you drinking, Steven? Scotty B, what's up? Scotty says he's having a Nuun Recover and a protein bar. The Nuun Recover is a good product. I like it a lot. I don't know. Some people are like branched-chain amino acids are like a gimmick, but I don't know. I just really, there's something in that Nuun Recovery that my body really liked. It like when I was drinking that, like I would go for a run and then on the way back, it'd be like, ooh, we're going to have some of that Nuun Recovery later. It's going to be good. Like my body would look forward to it. The only other drink where I've really had that is the Univet Elite Recovery drink. That one, my body's like, that weird turmeric flavor in a vanilla flavored protein shake doesn't make any sense, but I kind of want it. So that's kind of like what my body says. Anton, where did that go? Anton. Pokaziev says, hello from Russia. Didn't get your response on sunglasses. If it distorts colors anyhow, and order the same model as yours, we'll see how it works. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see that, but you know, I'm a really bad person to tell you if colors get distorted because I'm colorblind. I'm very colorblind. I don't know if I'm very colorblind, but I have a real hard. I'm just like not observant when it comes to color, but like I just don't know when it comes to color. So I think you're talking about the Blenders sunglasses that I got. I'm not sure that it distorts color. The main thing that I noticed is that they're polarized, so it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to look at my GoPros. And that's the main thing that I noticed. And for me, the fit on those is okay. But I do find myself, they're like these wraparound things, and I find myself like pushing the bridge of it to get it really snug on my face. Otherwise, when they're looser, they kind of bounce a little bit. So I think I need to like bend the earpieces on them a little and kind of tinker around with them. Chimp Nadine is here. What's going on, man? How are you? Are you coming up to Chicago this time? How's Atlanta? Jeff's here. Says better late than never. He's sticking with old standby, high quality H2O. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Daniel Suter said, did Scratch release that extremely salty variety to combat Element? I'm not aware of that. Does Element have a really salty one? Element doesn't have sugars in it, right? Is that the thing with Element? Or am I wrong on that? I thought that Element, I looked at Element the other day thinking like, oh, I keep hearing about it. It's on Instagram a lot. And I was like going to buy some to test it out. And then I was like, oh, there's no sugar in this. Or at least the whatever one I looked at. So maybe I need to take a closer look. Maybe I was too rash. But yeah. BY says, I just checked out the fitness age thingy. He's 48 and it says 20. Sure don't feel 20. Well, you know, when you're out there running, you feel like a 20-year-old does. So that's what 20 feels like, I guess. I don't know. You know, it'd be funny. I mean, not funny, but like, you know, I always think back about like from Clifton, like 2 through 6, every Clifton that came out, people were like, this Clifton's good, but it's no Clifton 1, right? And then they re-released Clifton 1, and they were like, this isn't exactly the Clifton 1. Even though, like, Hoka was like, this is exactly the same. We sent, like, the exact same specs to the exact same people, and we made the exact same shoe. And people were like, this isn't as good. And people were like, they didn't include the right insoles, or they said a lot of, people were like, all these things. And, you know, we've been talking about this fitness age thing, and people were like, to be 20 again. I feel like if any of us went back to being 20, we'd be like, this is stressful. This is a lot harder than I remember being 20. I feel like especially if we were somehow rewound the clock and we were 20 in 2021, I'd be like, being 20 stinks. Bring me back to my 40-something-year-old self. I feel like that's what we would all say. We'd be grumpy about it. That's my hypothesis. I'm going with that. All right. Ty Matt says about that ghost vegan protein. The coconut flavor is subtle, more creamy flavor than anything. Ooh, interesting. I know it's not the same, but I did just buy some hot sauce today at the store, and it's made with avocado oil. I haven't tried it yet, but like the way my mind was working on that one is coconut flavor, coconut oil. Like my wife will sometimes put coconut oil in stuff, and she'd be like, "Did you taste it?" Which is always like a crazy question from my wife, because I'm like, "What is it in this? Applesauce instead of eggs? I don't know. What am I guessing?" You know, or it'll be like, "It's half made out of brown flour, not white flour," and I'm like, "Okay." But sometimes you'd be like, "Do you taste coconut?" And I'd be like, "Yes, I do. I can taste the coconut. I just thought that maybe our oils were rancid." I don't love coconut flavor. Just lost the mic, guys. I don't have a proper stand for this thing yet. So I've dropped it like 4 times, which is not good for the microphone. But I don't know, maybe I'll have to try that ghost. Maybe I'll order a bag. Jeff Ellie says, "Jenny, you mix protein powder with water? I've been only buying Silk Ultra, and it's too thick to add protein powder to." I do all my protein powders with water. Do you guys normally do it with nut milks? I don't know. I feel like I want to try oat milk because I'm very, like I've been talking to you guys about, I'm very susceptible to advertising, and oat milk has been advertising hard in my neighborhood. I think that's a pretty incisive reflection of my neighborhood, but like there's oat milk ads everywhere. So I kind of want to try that, and I was thinking, well, if I add the oat milk to the protein shake, but like if I added almond milk or like regular milk to a protein shake, I feel like that's a lot of protein at once. How much protein can my body like handle at once, right? Because when we're talking about sugars, I think sugars, it's like 50 grams to 60 grams an hour is what your body can handle, and the rest just, I don't know, I think it turns into stomach cramps, right? So like, is there a limit on protein? Seems like a lot. I do like that Soy Ultra though. It's tasty. I did enjoy that, but like fridge space is a premium, especially like things that are milk carton shaped and sized, you know, because I got 2 kids that are drinking like lots of regular milk, and sometimes like it's weird. Sometimes we go for a while with not drinking that much, and then it'll like bam, they'll hit it real hard, and then it'll be like, "Dad, we don't have any milk," and then I gotta go to the store. Fortunately, there's a little convenience store in our building, so like if it's a milk emergency like that or egg emergency, we're okay. Or sometimes butter is the emergency, like if we're baking cookies. In the wintertime, it's real convenient. It's not too bad in the summer. Backfam says he's drinking a Vietnamese iced coffee to survive through the never-ending humidity of the South. Oh, that sounds tasty. Affluent Journey says, "Do you really need salt caps if you're eating gels every 30 to 45 minutes? I would say it depends on the gel. That's why I like to mix gels, and that's why I love the Humid Chia Plus. The Humid Chia Plus has like 200 or 220 or 245, one of those 2 numbers, I believe, milligrams of salt. So if you take that every other one, I feel like that's enough salt. But if you're just doing Martins, I think Martins have like almost 0 salt in them. So you're having just sugars, which are great for the sugar performance. But then like depending on how hot a day it is, how much you're sweating, you might need a salt tab. My goal is to not have to worry about a salt tab. Because like the last thing I want to do in a marathon is have like 5 gels like stuffed in my waist somewhere, and then also have a little plastic baggie that has a salt tablet in it, and it's specially sequestered in a little Ziploc bag because I'm going to sweat all over stuff. So I don't really want to do that. But I don't know. I feel like I've really screwed up my last like 3 or 4 races, and it feels like a lot of it is salt mismanagement as well as mainly pace mismanagement, which then leads to salt mismanagement problems. So I feel like, I don't know, how many times do I have to like relearn the same lesson before it finally sticks. Maybe I needed to do a salt tab. Garrett says he just mixed up some green tea tailwind. That is a good flavor. I really like that flavor. He said, but he's off to work, so I'll have to catch the rest later. Stay awesome, y'all. All right. Have a good day at work, Garrett. Oh, Stephen Lung's got some berry Nuun. I don't think I've had the berry flavor. I'm going to have to try that. Brett Reed says, best way to carry gels during a marathon race? Not going for a podium spot, just hoping to finish. Yeah, I think my favorite is I have half tights that have pockets on each hip. And I could put 2 to 3 gels in each side pocket. And so that's usually the way I go for it. Because I think 5 gels, I usually go for between 5 and 6 gels for a marathon, which seems like a lot. I know it is. But, you know, I think that's, not to say that like I run like an elite, so I need to fuel like the elites, but I feel like the elites are getting a lot of sugars in when they're running. A lot of times like they're running in split shorts, a lot of them, but even though half tights are gaining in popularity, but I feel like a lot of them, the gels get taped to their bottles. So they're getting bottles and gels at the same time. So like I would love to do that. There was that pair of District Vision shorts that are like $100 and something. That was like a collab with Martin, and it's got like individual holsters all around the back. So you could fit like I think 6 or 7 Martin gels in the back. And it's kind of like, what is it? What do they call them? Bandoliers? Those things where like it looks like it's like a sash of bullets, you know, like a Rambo or those kinds of things. So it's kind of like that concept, but with gels and a longer waist, which I'm like, I kind of like that. I want those pants, even if I'm not going to put Martin gels in them. I'll have some Martin gels, but not all Martin gels. Yeah. I did run in a pair of pants in the Speedland video that I made today. I got a pair of pants from Decathlon. Decathlon sent me some stuff. And the pants have 7 pockets around the sides, all around the waist. A double pocket up front, which I feel like is a really weird space for a double pocket. 2 pockets on each side, and then a big pocket in the back. Did that math just add up? Yes, it did. So, yeah, you could fit a lot of gels in there. But the side pockets are a little bit too small. So I was bringing science and sport gels with me, and they just didn't really quite fit. I mean, I had a pack on, so I didn't really care. But I've seen Rabbit do that, make shorts like that. John G made a really nice pair of shorts that had like just a bunch of pockets all the way around. And now Decathlon makes one. Daniel Sudo says 6 gels doesn't seem like a lot to me. All right, well, we're in good company here. Sai says, what's the ideal weight for a shoe to run in? 7.5 ounces or 9.5 ounces? Oh, well, is lighter always better? I think it depends on the size of the shoe, right? And so, like, bigger shoes are going to weigh more because there's more material there. But I'll assume you mean, like, you know, in terms of, like, reference size and size 9. You know, maybe, right? So, like, lighter isn't always better because, like, track spikes are super lightweight. But you wouldn't want to run a track spike in a road marathon or a trail race, you know? So it depends. I think what we're realizing now with basically starting with like, I think at the Vaporfly 4% is that, you know, a little bit of weight's okay for racing, assuming there's a reason for the weight, right? And then even for daily training too, you know, depending on the type of shoe it is, you know, weight is more forgivable in certain situations than others. If it's a workout shoe, when you're going to work hard in, do kind of maybe some racing or some time trials in or some of your hardest workouts in, you want to look a little bit more at weight. But that same, like, if it's heavier, is there a reason why it's heavier and is that worth it? Is kind of like the consideration. But for daily trainers, sometimes weight is there because it makes the shoe more durable. Maybe there's a little bit more rubber on the outsole. Maybe there's a little bit more padding or reinforcements along the upper so that way it doesn't wear quite as quickly. So could be reasons why. That being said, I feel like, you know, once you get over like 10 ounces for a daily trainer on the roads, hopefully there's really good reasons for that. you know, that's kind of how I feel. All right, Martha says, marathon will have Gatorade endurance, which should be more than enough. But I'd rather pop a couple of salt sticks. They're very quick to chew, than open and take a gel. We will carry gels though. Yeah, maybe I'm like, I don't know. I think that I've like mentally, I just have like, it feels like another like level for me to, you know, like another bridge to cross to get into the salt sticks or the salt tabs. I'm not sure. Gatorade endurance is nice because it's saltier. I think like regular Gatorade has like 150 milligrams, 180 milligrams of salt per serving. I think Gatorade endurance has like about 25% more. So we're going, it's like 200 something milligrams per serving. And so like, you know, if you're doing Gatorade endurance, like, you know, a couple times an hour, that should also be enough. But, you know, depending on the race, like I know for Chicago Marathon, if it's a sunny year and it's hot, for me, I don't think that's enough because there's just some parts where like there is not a lot of sun cover. So, you know, yeah, those are the years where I need more. On the other hand, like if I'm blaming it on the salt, but if I'd paced it better, you know, you know, that probably also would have resolved the issue too. All right, that's it for that Klean Athlete. I don't understand why it's clean with a K. That makes me look at it a little bit funny because they like to use Ks in a lot of places on this product. So it doesn't seem like it's necessary, but they're doing it. Okay. But tasty product. Yeah, I like it. All right. Someone said something about, where'd it go? My camera, here we go. He's having a hard time with the 375er trail shoes regardless of tech. Talking about the Speedland SL PDX that I reviewed for today's video. Seems like a one-trick pony, and I would still have to buy other shoes for different terrain. Thoughts? I mean, I think the idea is that you wouldn't have to. Like, I think that's where it's going, right? But I don't think it's necessarily there yet. But on the other hand, I think that, you know, the price point is going to grab a lot of people's attention because 375 is a lot for trail shoes. So like the way I think of it is like I could buy a pair of Speed Goats for 160 and have that for very, very long runs, but also very, very long races. I can then also buy a pair of Hoka for shorter races, things that I want to go quicker or where the terrain is not going to be as gnarly. And that's, I don't know what's the price on that, 140, something like that. So that puts me at $300 already. And then that's two very different types of shoes that I can have. I haven't run in the Speed Goat before, but the Zinal, I absolutely love that shoe. And so like that makes it hard for me to think about like, well, would I be better off having one shoe that I can remove the carbon fiber plate in? You know, so like it's a generation 1 product, right? And so, but like for what they have, the one trick is pretty cool. And I really enjoyed the shoe for what it is. But like, you know, I don't think it's ready for like the entire mass running public yet. But it's an interesting shoe. I think it was worth covering. It was fun for me to kind of try and find a place to go run in it. And to try and, you know, see, I mean, I'm not the best person. You know, there's never going to be like a Kofuzi trail badge of approval for trail shoes because I'm just not that much of a trail runner. But, you know, it's an interesting shoe. I do like it. And I think that, you know, if it gets to the point where it can have maybe multiple, you can buy multiple shells and then multiple inserts that have different kind of profiles. People that are very particular about what they want, I think, but also want consistency in terms of how their products perform, I think will really gravitate towards it. Kind of like in the way that, you know, not everyone, if you have, let's say, a performance motorcycle, you might buy aftermarket parts for it to get more airflow, you know, improve different terms of performance metrics on it, cornering, weight, balance, that kind of thing. But for the most of the motorcycle buying public, are they into that? You know, not really. You know, most people don't even want a motorcycle. They'd rather have a car so they can commute to work and go get groceries. So it's like, it doesn't, I don't think for the product to be a success, I don't think it has to convert and change the entire trail running world. But I think that it does need to be able to resonate with like a core group of of trail runners with very specific preferences. And I don't know that there's enough of them out there. I'm not sure yet. So like, I don't know the market, I think, well enough either. But I will say, if we were going to call it a one-trick pony, the one trick is pretty cool, in my opinion. So that's where I'm at on that. All right. Martha says, going back to the Klean Athlete product. Clean with a K is another example of such an American thing. I never understood it. It's bad enough when you see something like a mini mart called Come and Go, No Comment. That's a fun one. Yeah, I don't understand that one. Number one, like, I don't understand the Come and Go. Like, why would you name it that, right? And then two, why would you spell it that way? Like, there's just a double head scratcher on that one, right? But it is a very popular gas station chain. At least in the Midwest. I don't know where else it is. I don't think I've ever seen any on the East Coast. I've only seen them in the Midwest. WK says, hey, how's cycling been for you so far? You know what? I've been really enjoying cycling ever since I got like a proper road bike. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I went on a 2-hour ride, which was my longest ride ever, on Monday. Fortunately, I had some camera problems, so don't have much to show for it, except for a GPS tracing on Strava. But it was a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. I do think that it could be worth me investigating, like I've seen like people riding in groups along the lakefront, but it's like when I run, I'm like, oh yeah, those are CES runners, or those are Kara runners. Oh, there's 312. Like there's Edge. Like I know the different groups of runners, but like when I'm cycling, I'm just like, is that just 4 dudes that know each other or what? Like, I don't know how. I think I would like going on a group ride, especially the kind that like takes a break at either a pub or somewhere to eat breakfast and have coffee. I just don't know how to get involved in that. I guess but the thing is, that being said, I haven't even like Google searched for anything like that or even looked at it on Instagram. So I don't know, but I'm overall enjoying it. Here's the one thing though, I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should get another set of pedals or something, because like the clip-ins are nice, but like, for example, the Kara 20 miler this weekend, it starts up at Montrose Track. I don't want to run 2.5 miles to get to an event that is a 20-mile run and then have to run 2.5 miles home. So I'm thinking riding my bike would be great. But then I'm like, if I want to ride my bike, then I got to bring a different pair of shoes, with me. And so I'm like, maybe I should just put regular pedals on there. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm like, I need to make the bike a little bit more casual at the same time. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Danny Run with Sisters says, finally made it to the stream and running late today here. It's okay. I was running real late yesterday, but it's better late than never. Better late than never. Thomas Villa says, out west, we have come and stay for a bit. That's funny. I don't know why, but I'm really liking that one. And it says, cycling in a group is a skill you need to work at. You need to stay alert and keep close to the wheel in front without hitting it. Yeah, I remember living in New Jersey where my parents lived in Fort Lee. There is a big highway. It's called 9W. The W doesn't stand for west. That's just one thing, because it's a north-south running highway. But it has for most places, it's a 2-lane road, like one going each way. But the shoulder is gigantic. And once you get out of like main Fort Lee and you go a little bit further north, it's tree covered. The blacktop is super smooth. It's slightly rolling. It's really windy, especially in the fall. It's really beautiful. And on the weekends, it's always full of packs of riders. And like watching those guys, like it's like, man, that's got to be hard, because you're sitting in such close formation all the time. I mean, they have plenty of room to spread out a little bit more, but I think they all just like to sit close together. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I've never ridden really in a group. I rode a bike with my brother-in-law and his wife one time. That's pretty much it. It's my group riding experience. But I'm thinking next year, I'll have to look at the calendar. I do think I want to try to do Ragbri, which is the ride across Iowa. It's like a bike packing type of event. I think you could stay at hotels and stuff too, but I don't know. Maybe I can see if I can get my wife to take the week off and drive a follow car or something. Or maybe my father, see if my father-in-law will do it. Get my brother-in-law, both of them involved. They've both done it before. We'll just eat lots of pie at night, drink local beers, just ride bikes all day. I think that'd be kind of fun. It'll be the longest time I go without running if I go for like a week. But that's kind of like what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Jeff says, I've been considering riding my bike to a park by the lake to run trails, but I would want to change shoes and shorts and then need to lock up the bike helmet and backpack with the shoes and clothes. See, that's like that's the thing where it gets like, it's getting complicated now. There is that spot in Chicago, Ohio Street Beach, where a lot of people do open water swimming, where the park district has set up just lockers. You bring your own lock, but there's cubbies where you can put your stuff in there, lock it up, and then go swim, and then your stuff is there. There's bike racks and stuff too, so I feel like it's nice, but maybe that's a thing that more trails need to do, is like, instead of like making the parking lots bigger, make it so that way people can ride their bikes to the trails. But I guess like, I would think probably a lot of people that are riding their bike to the trail are probably going to ride their bike on the trail. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe that's why that's not a thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really know that much about the cycling culture. All right, let's do a couple more and then we'll get going for today. Zanik L3 says, have you ever suffered from nipple chafing? It used to happen to me a little bit more frequently. The thing to do is to get like Body Glide or Squirrel's Nut Butter. I used to have this thing where it was basically looked like deodorant, but I'm not sure what to call that material that's in there. But it makes it so that way the friction, the cloth of your shirt doesn't catch on your body as much. And so I used to put like one over each nipple and then like in between my legs a little bit too. Back when I kind of started doing longer runs, this was several years ago. Lately, I don't really have that problem too much, so I don't find myself needing it that much anymore. The only other time that I had a real bad case of it was when I was like, I wonder if I can run in a hydration vest without a shirt on. It was really hot in the summer, and I thought I would do it. It was not a good idea. It didn't work, even with some Body Glide on. So there's some things that just don't work, but for just regular t-shirt chafing, I would say just some Body Glide. And then I think what happened was my body either like got numb to it or my body shape maybe changed a little bit, so it wasn't as big of an issue. So, all right. Danny says, I just did my first group ride on Labor Day. Clubs have a strong presence around here on social media. They're very casual, encouraging with new and seasoned riders. Okay. I'll have to look around for that, because I think that'd be fun. Although I don't know when I can really get, my dance card's pretty full between now and like December. If things are going well, then it will be. So I don't know. But yeah, I do think that I would enjoy that a little bit more. Maybe I would. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of rules. I know a lot of those rules are probably based in safety, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll have to try it. Yeah, it's certainly worth trying. All right. I think that's a good place to leave it for today, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow's video is going to be another workout video. And then we'll do another live stream for Friday. Oh man, we've made it to the end of the week. This was a good week. So I'll see you then tomorrow, same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. And in the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.